Welcome to our discussion of walking with God, Behar-Bechukotai. In Bechukotai, there's a covenant discussion of what happens if the Jews follow the commandments, what happens if the Jews don't follow the commandments. And in one of the beautiful expressions of what happens when the Jews as a whole follow the commandments is the following. I'd like to draw attention to these two words, V'hithalachti b'tochechem. And I will make myself walk among you. V'hithalachti. Rashi says, Atayel imachem Gan Eden. I'm going to walk with you in Gan Eden. Whether he means in the world to come, after life, he'll walk with us, or that this world will be like a Gan Eden, and he'll walk with us together here. Kachad mikem. God will be part of our community. As Rabbi Soloveitchik beautifully describes, God is part of the Jewish community. He's a member of the congregation. However, Yachol lo tiru mimenu. You might think that he'll be walking with us and we'll say, hey, there's God, nice to see you. And there won't be any fear? No. I'll still be your God. We'll have this paradox. On the one hand, God will be among us, part of our community. We'll be walking along with him. On the other hand, we'll be in awe and fear of God. Reminds us of Gan Eden, that in Gan Eden, that Adam and Eve, they heard God walking in Gan Eden. He was walking with them. It reminds us of the beautiful image in the Gemara in Sanhedrin of Yeravam was told, Yeravam, be good. You and I will walk in Gan Eden with Mashiach, with David. We'll walk together in Gan Eden. And the Yeravam, the king of the north, said, well, who will walk first? And God said, well, David will walk first and you're second. He said, no, I don't want to do it. But there was that image of walking with God. It's an interesting image. What does that mean to walk with God? Sforno says, well, why walking? Why not just say that God will be with you? Because the truth is that we go different places. There's a Mishkan that travels from here to there. A Jew goes, does this, does that. Wherever you are, God is with you. Reminds us of the Shema. You bring God with you. You say the Shema. If you're getting up, you're going to sleep, you're in the shul, you're at home. During COVID, you can't be in the shul, you're at home. Wherever you are, you can bring God with you. That's v'hitalachti b'tochechem. Now, how do we merit? How do we get to this point of v'hitalachti b'tochechem? Well, the parsha begins, Im Bechukotai telechu. If you walk with God, with his commandments, that we call it the halakha, the walking with God in our commandments. If it's Shabbos, there's a way to walk with the Shabbos. If it's kosher, there's a way to walk with the kosher. If it's prayer, there's a way to walk in our prayers. Any of the laws to do business, there's a way to walk and to be. Im Bechukotai telechu. If you walk in life with my commandments, then what is God saying? Then you'll be with me. If you walk with the commandments, God and the Torah and the Jewish people are all connected. If you walk with the commandments, you'll be with God as well. And what do we have to do to have God with us? If you think about it, you go back to the story of the golden calf. God says, no, I can't be among you. You did the golden calf. I can't do it. I can't be with you. The Jews complained, and we said, please, you have to come with us. When we have sin, it distances us from God, makes us distant, and we cannot walk with God. If you now look from 60,000 feet up at the entire book of Vayikra, which will have the privilege of finishing the Shabbos, we won't be able to say Chazak, Vazak, V'ni Chazek. We can't finish it together, unfortunately with the COVID crisis, but we will finish it collectively together. Each one of us individually will finish this book. We can read it at home. We'll finish together, and we'll say that we get stronger and stronger together. We're going to finish this book and we'll ask ourselves, what is the book of Vayikra? And in many ways, it's the book of Kedusha. It's the book of holiness. You have the holy sacrifices. We try to get closer to God with the sacrifices. The holy holidays, Mikra Kodesh, convocation. You have holy years, the Jubilee year, the sabbatical year. And you have holy places and holy spaces. And that's why the previous parsha, Parshat Behar, the first parsha of the week, Behar ends with the words, Et Shabbatotai Tishmoru. You should keep my Sabbaths. Sabbath of the sabbatical year, the Sabbath that it comes every Shabbos. Umikdashit Hirao, and my holy places, you should be in awe of them, inspired. in Shabbos, we ask God to come with us. In the holy places, we go to where God is. And if we create holy places, holy spaces, holy times, if we are holy, Kedoshim to you, at the centerpiece of this book of Kedusha, the book of Leviticus, the book of Torah Kohanim, the centerpiece is the people of Israel trying to be Kedoshim to you, to try to aspire to be holy. And the Kohanim, Kidashto, to make the Kohanim even higher, give them an even higher level of holiness. All these mitzvot, they inspire us, they elevate us, and they bring us up to a level of Kedusha. When you have Kedusha, you have holiness, you have something that's godlike, because after all, God is holy. As it says, you should be holy because I am holy. If we can bring ourselves to the level where we have holiness, then we can ask the Holy One, blessed be He, to join us in that community. And then we can fulfill V'talachti b'tochechem. If we can create a Gan Eden-like environment, then God could be with us there. We could be walking with Him. He'll say, there He is. We're holy, He's holy. Not exactly the same. Never reach the level of God, but we could aspire to be holy. But the book also reminds us that if we can't be holy, we can at least remove the impurity. Because when there's impurity, God really can't tolerate it. And we can't even live in the Holy Land. We get kicked out, we land out in these remote places that we live, because we don't deserve to live there. So the book has two challenges. One, can we remove ourselves from impurity so that God can dwell among us, so that we can dwell in the Holy Land? And even better, we lift ourselves up to the place of Kedusha and holiness, so that we could be on the level of the Gan Eden, so that we could have God among us, as in God. What's Gan Eden? What is the Beis HaMikdash? What is Shabbos? It's a place where God is. Why do we go out to greet the bride on Erev Shabbos? Because maybe the divine presence is with us. And that leads us to Unkelos. Unkelos says, Hitalachti b'tochechem, I will walk among you. V'ashrei shchinati b'tochechem. God doesn't walk, says the Unkelos. Don't be so anthropomorphic. You know what it means? God will bring His presence with us. The more we can make ourselves holy, the more we can do holy deeds, engage in the Bechukotai to walk in the ways of the halakha, the ways of the Torah, the more we can make our communities holy, the more we can have holy places, holy spaces, holy times, holy weeks, holy days, and holy years. These days of the Omer in which we find ourselves. The more we can do that, the more hopefully Hitalachti b'tochem, God will dwell among us. And Vayiti lachem Elokim, I'll be your God, but not just your God in some distant sense, but someone we can walk together with in life. And when we do that, hopefully, like David HaMelech, like the Mashiach himself, we'll be able to have that sense of intimacy with God, but only when we walk in the ways of God. That's our challenge. That's the high bar that the book of Vayikra set for us. Can we walk with God? Can we be holy? Can we at least stay away from impurity? That's the challenge. That's the Edgar. That's the mitzvah of this book. And if we can do that, then indeed, V'talachti b'tochechem, God will walk among us. We could stroll along with God. What would it be like to stroll with God, to say, I was at least so not defiled that I was worthy of walking with God. I reached some modicum of Kedusha, of holiness, at least in my Shabbos, at least in my Mikdash, at least in my synagogue, in my place of prayer at home, that somehow I was able, at least for a moment, to walk with God. Thanks very much for joining us here at the Anshe Sefard Beth Elohim Congregation, discussion of the Parsha. Join us each week for the holidays, discussion of holidays, how-to videos, and so much more. We wish everyone a great Shabbos and a good Shabbos and a Shabbat Shalom.